Hello and welcome again. This is Bishnu Mahali, and this is another episode, interesting episode of the Bishnu Mahali Show, where I am going to interview Craig Campbell, and he will introduce himself right now. And welcome, Craig, and please introduce yourself to my audience.
Thank you. So, as you said, my name's Craig Campbell. I am based in Scotland, which is in the UK. So, apologies for the accent, everyone. I will try and speak slowly.
They will understand, actually. They will understand.
I've been doing SEO 18 years. I do training, affiliate marketing, speak at a lot of conferences, and I built up my own agency and stuff like that as well. So very experienced.
I've seen your videos, some videos, and you were in India, I think, in recent days.
Yes, I was in Bangalore in December. Lovely place, lovely people, very welcoming, and ever since I've been on everyone's Indian Zoom and webinars and Facebook groups and everything. So the Indian people seem to quite enjoy what I'm saying to them. So and as I say, I thoroughly enjoyed my time in India as well. Nice people.
Right. Did you learn something from India?
Did I learn something from India? I learned one thing: never drive a car in India. That's crazy. I know that I was driving a car. I was in the cab going from the airport to the hotel, and I was like, just far too busy. Way too busy.
Right. And I've seen your TikTok videos as well. You are so funny. And I really liked it, actually. Actually, I saw you from the TikTok, and then I found you on Facebook and stuff like that. So yeah. I saw a TikTok video of yours. Someone said on their Facebook profile, I think Umer Qureshi or maybe someone that you have interviewed, I guess, Umer Qureshi.
Yeah. I met Umer in India.
Yeah. So I know because of him. I know you because of him. And you were here for the same thing, right? I mean, SEO webinar or something like that.
I was there for SEMrush at the conference.
Right.
Over there.
I mean, what kind of SEO are you doing? I mean, you are hiring someone or doing yourself, or you have an agency?
No, so I've got my own team of staff, but we don't do client work. Most of the stuff we do is affiliate marketing.
Right.
Previously, I've had an agency, but I absolutely hate dealing with clients. So I decided to make the move to go into affiliate marketing, because that way I don't need to beg the client to pay me some money. I can make my own money, and I don't have to do all this reporting and all this other bullshit that comes with client work. So I think, SEO is SEO, whether you do affiliate, whether you do e-com, whether you do client work, the same process in terms of ranking the website is the same, but the stress levels when you do clients is a way up here, and you do your own affiliate, and you can, take a day off, chill out, have a long lie, and relax a bit more. And I think when you're relaxed more, you perform better to the best of your ability, and you're more creative and much more enthusiastic about the job ahead.
Right. And may I ask you how everything started? I mean, the SEO agency or whatever you are doing.
Yes, so many years ago, around about 18 years ago. So I'm 40 just now. I was about 17 when the internet came out in the UK. Now, I know India might be slightly later, I don't know, but the internet came out in the UK.
The connection here is still solid.
Yeah, but young guys like you have probably been brought up with the internet. Until I got to 17, I didn't even have a mobile phone. Right. So the internet came out, and everyone's like, wow, it's amazing, and everyone's playing on the internet, talking to people, whatever. And it really just came from that. I just had a huge obsession with the internet. It's like a new games console coming out for a young chap like you just now. You'll be like, I need this games console, I love gaming or whatever it's going to be, and you're totally obsessed with it. So I think, my SEO career got started because the internet came out at an age where I was just leaving school and I hadn't really had the internet before, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew I loved the internet. But I had a few shitty jobs. I've worked in various crap jobs, sales jobs, call centre, all the shit jobs you could ever think of. And then one day someone gave me the opportunity to play about with their website. So SEO wasn't a big thing then. So they said, we've got this website, do you want to play about with it? I played about with it, started to learn how to mess around with websites. And then this SEO thing started coming out. And before I knew it, I was working at home as a freelancer. I ended up making enough money to leave the job because everyone said, can you make me a website? Can you make me a website? So I said, right, enough's enough. I'm going to work for myself. Started working from home for a few years, just building crappy WordPress websites. And then I decided to build my own agency because as things go, you need a content writer, you need someone to design some graphics because I'm really bad at graphics. And before I knew it, I didn't set out to build an agency. I just hired a guy, hired another guy, hired another guy, and before I knew it, I had an agency, which the agency was relatively successful. But obviously we've got the same problems that everyone else has got with their agency. Clients don't pay in time, they don't pay you enough money, and these things I felt very stressed with. So I had a whole bunch, I had 17 people working for me, and if 3 clients didn't pay, my business was so I didn't like being in that position. So because what it's like, even now clients are and they don't want to pay their bill in time, and they use all sorts of excuses, and so I decided that's not for me, too stressful. So I decided, as I say, to move into training and affiliate marketing, which is what I do now. Try and stay away. I've got a handful of clients that I still look after, but they are very, very well handpicked clients. I don't, they have to adhere to certain rules and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a long journey, but yeah, I got to where I want to be.
I've also experienced the similar issue like you, but I want to know, as you said, you were doing freelancing at a point, right? So I would like to know, which platform did you use and how was your experience in there?
So platforms that I used to use was Find a Freelancer, but I also used to just use things like Gumtree, so local directories to be able to, because remember, when I was a freelancer, it wasn't anywhere near as competitive as it is now. So not everyone was a web designer, not everyone was an SEO. So Gumtree was probably the biggest place where I used to put ads out. Between Gumtree, getting a few jobs and word of mouth was enough for me to make a good living. I didn't do anything too crazy in terms of advertising. But as I say, at that time, it was nowhere, you're talking 15 years ago or something. Today's market is different. You're going to have to do Facebook ads, you're going to have to do core ads, you're going to have to be on Upwork, People Per Hour, all of these kind of platforms, even Fiverr, 5 Squid, you can sell gigs on all of these platforms. So it's massively different from then as what you would have to do now, where you basically have to be on every single one of those channels to earn money.
How much you used to make with freelancing, at that point of time?
Freelancing, probably about between £3,000 and £5,000 a month. But I was happy with that. It was never going to make me a millionaire, but it allowed me to have a good salary while having the flexibility to work from home. But I think there's a cap on that, because the problem you've got with being a freelancer is that the bigger companies are not going to take you on because you're working in your bedroom or whatever. So you're never going to get the £5,000 a month customers and the big money retainers. So I think it serves its purpose, but I think you've probably got a limit to what you can earn without being a big agency, if you like. I think sometimes clients like the big agency and to be able to see lots of staff and in a big nice office and whatever city you're in. So I think I found it quite hard to scale above between 3,000 and 5,000.
Did you ever submitted a crappy job while you were doing freelancing?
Did ever yeah, of course. Yeah.
I just asked for fun.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when we're freelancing, I was still learning a lot. I wasn't as good as what I would consider myself today. And of course, submitted some real crappy work. It felt good work at the time, but when I look back at it now, I'm like, wow, really? Like, did someone pay me for this? It's like looking at an old photograph of yourself. You look and go, man, I can't believe I wore my hair this way, or whatever. You just look back and go, geez, it was so bad. But at the time, I thought it was really, really good. But in hindsight, it was pretty shit. Yeah.
Again, I know because I have done the same thing as well. So I know. And again, I will ask you a similar type of question. What was your first website that you built?
First website that I built would probably be my own website many years ago. It was on, it wasn't even on WordPress or anything. It was on a thing called Mr. Site, which you used to buy from the shop, and you pulled out the disc. It had the disc, you put the disc in, and it was like a templated website thing, but it was absolute shit. And back then I thought I was a genius because I could make the text scroll along the top of the page, and I thought, whoa, I've got this cool website because a bit of text was scrolling along the page. But looking back, it was real bad work.
Yeah, and I used to use the Flash files, and that was super interesting for me. I had made some mobile websites, and I was excited too. But when first serious business started?
When did my first serious business start? So I probably about, trying to think, probably about 2007. So that's 13 years ago. So I've been in the industry for about 18 years. The first 5 years were just fucking about, learning and blowing stuff up and doing real bad work. I think about 2007, I started to take things a bit more serious and started out trying to run a business and trying to be a lot more professional. So yeah, round about then.
Right. Did you had any struggle, to start?
Oh, listen, the whole thing was a struggle from the start. Everything was a struggle. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have any clients. I didn't have any staff. It was just a hard slog trying to drum up some business. And I probably struggled for 2 or 3 years to build myself up and my reputation up to some degree. And also I had no idea about the business side of things, so I didn't understand accounting. I didn't really know anything. It was quite a shit time, if I'm being honest. I was always poor. Paying out for an accountant, paying out for an office, and not earning that much money. So it was a slog. And I was young, naive, and didn't really understand business either. So yeah, there was a lot of struggles. And then obviously you start hiring people, and again, you're inexperienced at hiring people, so you hire people for all the wrong reasons. Whether they talk a good game and you hire the wrong guy, or whatever, you end up overpaying, or you get someone who just doesn't work properly, or you get someone who really just doesn't fit your way of thinking. So I made mistake after mistake after mistake in terms of hiring people, went through tons and tons of staff. But listen, you make mistakes. You've got to go through that motion to learn and come out the other side, because I didn't go to any business school. I didn't have any mentor to guide me through this process. So I made a lot of mistakes, hiring a lot of the wrong people and doing a lot of the wrong stuff. I also didn't tie clients up into contracts, so clients could just leave whenever they wanted. Pretty much the process of my business and the whole business was a joke. It was just a mess. In the first few years, everything was wrong. And that was just because I didn't know any better. So, but obviously, as I say, you come out the other end stronger for it, and you build your business and refine your processes, your systems, how you hire people, what you look for when you hire people, and all of that stuff. So, I wouldn't change it, but yeah, everything was a struggle.
All right. So, now talking about your SEO company, when and how this idea came up in your mind? How? Was there any inspiration or something?
As I say, I built an agency, and it wasn't really for me. What I'm good at is talking. I'm good at teaching, and I'm good at SEO. So I built this particular business model that I've got now around the skills and what I'm comfortable with. So I don't do web design because I'm bloody awful at it. We've established that. I love making money, so affiliate marketing is the way forward. I hate doing clients, so that's where the affiliate marketing model fitted in. I don't mind going on video. I don't mind standing on stage at a conference. So I've basically taken away all of the pain points and added all of the stuff that I'm comfortable doing, and rebranded. Rather than being an agency, I've rebranded as myself. And as I say, I think there's enough business and enough clients out there for everyone to be themselves. The digital marketing industry is a £1 billion industry, and you can be a little bit crazy. You can do things your own way. As long as you provide results, it's a results-driven business. If you can make money, and you're confident making money, why the hell would you do it for a client when you can make it for yourself? Go sell a course. Go sell some SEMrush and get an affiliate commission. Go sell something else. Why the hell would you take $1,000 off a client to make him, $10,000 a month, when you could make the $10,000 a month yourself? That's what you have to look at. And as soon as I think that comes with time and experience. But if you genuinely believe that you're good at SEO, then why the hell are you making other people money? You should be making it for yourself. There's a million opportunities out there to do it. And whether that's courses, whether that's affiliate, whether that's e-com, do that. And I think that's something that just, with all the stress with clients, it made me think, you have to do something different here. This is just not going to work as it stands.
As you said, I did a little bit of research, and I only found your one website that is dedicated to SEO. I think SEO company, your SEO business. But do you have any other business as well that is running right now?
Yeah, so I've got a number of different businesses that are not SEO related, but they make money because of SEO. So, I've utilised my skills into making other businesses, and you don't have to solely be in SEO. there's a million ways to make money online.
Right.
Any industry, any niche. You know, I've had Amazon affiliate websites, I've got lead generation websites, I've got e-commerce websites. So I've got, I think when I was in India at the SEMrush event in Bangalore, I gave a lot of case studies away in affiliate marketing, showing people the different ways that you can make money, and showed them a bunch of different options. And I think, for me, don't have all your eggs in one basket. Don't solely rely on SEO for your income. Have other businesses. And as I say, the job long term is to take all of the money from the SEO side of things and invest in real estate and various things like that.
Well, that's quite a lot. And let's talk about your mistakes. I mean, what mistakes you did that you would advise others not to do? I mean, top 3 mistakes.
Top 3 mistakes. I mean, one thing that I'm guilty of, and I've done this mistake several times, is just diving into a niche. So, for example, 3 or 4 years ago, the e-cigarette business started to become popular in the UK, and I dived in and I thought I'd done the keyword research, and I seen that hundreds of thousands of people were researching for e-cigarettes. So I crazily built a website, spent 6 months ranking the fucker to find out that legally you can't do paid ads for e-cigarettes because the government don't want you promoting nicotine. No payment provider other than PayPal would accept payment for it, and all the drop shippers in the e-cigarette industry are shit at what they were delivering. So I didn't do enough research on the overall business model. So I jumped in, I knew I was good at SEO, but the failure of the business was because legally we couldn't do paid advertising to get the ball rolling and get some sales in while the SEO was coming in. And secondly, we found it hard to take payments through anyone other than PayPal. So we were having problems being able to take payments because not everyone wants to use PayPal. And thirdly, as I say, the drop shipper for the particular product was unreliable. So what I would say, mistake number 1, don't just research the keywords, research the business model in full, because I stupidly didn't care less whether it was an e-cig or whether it was anything else. I was just like, I can rank for that shit. I'm going to make millions of pounds. So do your research in the business in general. Speak to other guys who own a similar business. Just ask them some of the pitfalls that they have to overcome. So that's mistake number 1, just jumping in too quick. Mistake number 2, I would say, would be not delegating a lot of the work. So in my early stages of running an agency, I wanted everything to be done or come through me. So I was selling the service, I was doing the invoicing, I was doing the SEO, I had a team of content writers, and I was still putting all the content on the website because I didn't trust them enough to be able to log into the website and do the content themselves. So
this is one of the common mistakes that everyone makes.
Don't be selfish. Other people can do a good job. Give them a process, train people up properly, and delegate that shit out. Where I was doing everything, and it became a very stressful period where I wanted to have the hands-on approach onto everything within the business. I didn't delegate out the invoicing. Now, I hate invoicing people. I hate that side of business, and I was still doing it. So why was I doing it? It was just because I didn't trust anyone, and I didn't want to delegate anything. So I think that's mistake number 2, was not delegating enough and not trusting people. And 3, the third mistake, I never set out with no processes or any structure to your business. I think, if I could wind the clock back, I've wasted so much time not having processes or structure to the business. So I think having the right processes in place is going to help you scale a business a hell of a lot quicker. You know, whether that process is you sell the website to the client, or the SEO gig to the client, you know, the other guy does the site audit and comes back and tells everyone else what they need to do, and then they just do it. You know, you've got to have a process in there where I didn't have processes and no one really knew who was doing what, and it was just a big mess. So get your processes right, you're able to scale. I would also say you don't always have to hire a local person. So I was always wanting to have an office with 10, 15 people in it. Now I've got content writers all over the world. You know, I've got a team of 5 people in the office now. And the rest of the work can be outsourced. So I've got Indian guys, I've got Romanian people, Filipinos, because the cost of living in India or Philippines or any of these other places is far less than it is in the UK. Now, that doesn't mean the quality of work is any less. I mean, I know we can all say, you know, work from the Philippines or whatever's substandard. There's some really good people in all of these countries, and you can get the work done for a fraction of the price. Don't be driven by ego and hiring your own people. You can outsource. Again, it's something I didn't really do very well at the start, and I kick myself for doing that because I'm paying people. You know, there's a lot more skilled people across the world than there is in my own doorstep. People are dumb in a lot of cases and not technical savvy, especially in the UK. And I think there's a lot more people in countries like yours who are a lot more technical savvy and a lot more hungry to do it and charge you 5 times less. So it's a no-brainer. So yeah, that's just a couple of mistakes.
Right. Now that's very, very helpful. But now let's talk about some of the business lessons that you learned in all these years. I mean, if we ask you the top 3 lessons that you learned during this time, what would it be?
Business lessons, they would probably all boil around the accountancy side of the business. Again, lessons are, be careful. Number 1, be careful who your accountant is. Some accountants tell you can and can't do certain things, where others will tell you a different story. So it's a bit like the SEO world. Accountants all tell you different stories of what you can and cannot pay in terms of taxes and all of that kind of stuff. And be very, very careful you're getting someone who, because an accountant can't break the law, but there's a line in which you cannot cross before you break the law. And most good accountants will take you up to that line. But the accountants I've had in the past were very, very cautious, and I'm paying taxes and all of these things that I didn't really have to pay because I didn't know any better. So from a business point of view, because I was naive and hooked up with the wrong accountant, I wasn't able to claim things that I was entitled to. I was paying way more tax than I should have. You know, the company just wasn't tax efficient. So what I would say to anyone is understand how finance works and how accountancy works in your country. We're all in different countries, so I don't know what your tax laws are like in India, but I'm going to assume that, you know, it's going to be pretty similar to what we've got, you know, all over. But you have to get that side of your business on point first and foremost. Secondly, from a business point of view, you know, there's always going to be other things that are available, such as in the UK, we've got a thing where we can claim for research and development. I don't know what it's like in India, but we can get 14% of our turnover given back to us tax-free from the government for research and development and creating software, automation, processes. Be aware of situations that are out there that are not clear. You know, you have to dig deep into what's available for businesses, and most governments are there to help small businesses like, you know, myself, or, you know, the many other small businesses that are out there. Small businesses are the backbone of any country out there, you know, and that goes for India as well. You know, 90% of the population of India, or the income and revenue, is all brought through small businesses. The government want to help you. You're probably entitled to a lot more help than you will ever believe, but you just don't know where to look for that help. So make sure that you do root around, speak to your local chamber of commerce or government bodies, find out what's available. But in terms of other things, you know, one last thing with a business that I would always say is always be careful on who you partner with in business as well. So many people get their fingers burnt when they have partnerships in business. Now, I'm not going to say never partner up with anyone, because I've got a business partner myself, but I've also been burnt by other business partners in the past several times, where again I was naive and I didn't really understand business in general, and, you know, having two other business partners was quite easy to force me out of business because it was 2 against 1. I just thought we were all in it, you know, 3 guys into a business. They two can basically force me out of a business and make my life hell. So I think from a business point of view, when you're setting up business, make sure that you go into business partnerships with the right people, with the right shareholding. Never go less than 50-50. Ever. You know, never ever go less than 50%, because you lose all control at that point. And I think you want to be in charge of your own destiny. And if you can afford to go in business alone, do it yourself, because I'm lucky I've got a good business partner, but I've had other business partners who would simply argue for the sheer hell of arguing. They wouldn't, you know, you're never going to agree with everyone. Me and you're never going to agree on every last single point. You know, as much as we may be best friends or whatever, we're never going to agree on everything. You're always going to debate, and that always leads to, you know, conflict within a business, because someone doesn't want to go your direction, and it always ends up in turmoil. So just give it a thought. Do you really need a business partner? If you don't, then don't get involved. Try and build your own stuff up, even if it takes you another few years to get to the end goal. And you know, that's pretty much a couple of little business tips there.
Right. Now, how many work hour are you putting in your business right now? Are you having fun, or does it feel very stressing job like?
No, as I say, I've got a team of people who do a lot of the stuff for me. I only work 4 days a week. So I've always made it, you know, I've got a 1-year-old kid and I want to watch him grow up. So I have now built a business where I can outsource, delegate, still get the same amount of work done, but just work smartly and be able to take more time off. So definitely not stressed. Definitely working a lot more, you know, smart, using automation, using team members, and having the right processes in place, which leads to me being able to chill out a bit more and be a little bit less stressed.
What are your top sources of income right now?
Top sources of income. I mean, I've got a ton of different income streams. I think my e-commerce website brings in the most money, but I think, you know, I've got income streams from SEMrush. I've got income streams from, you know, various different other private affiliates, which are all of a reasonable amount. Combined, probably all of my affiliate stuff combined probably does more than you know, my e-commerce business. But yeah, so probably affiliate marketing, you know, selling tools and stuff like that probably does more than everything else. So yeah, the affiliate side.
Okay, so now the final question, and it is an important one. What one advice would you give someone who is just starting, or one life advice, ultimate life advice from you?
What life advice? I mean, I think one bit of advice I would say to someone is don't be scared to give things a go. You know, anyone can be anything they want to be. If you want to be the next Neil Patel, you can be the next Neil Patel. There's nothing stopping you. You've obviously got to believe it. But I think, you know, what holds a lot of people back, in my opinion, is the lack of taking action. You know, people talk a good game. People can understand SEO. Do they actually go and do it? Do they actually go and take a chance on a website? Do they invest in it properly? You know, and I think that one thing is taking action is where people fail. People are scared, or they don't believe they can do it, or whatever. You know, I didn't ever think I could be good at SEO. I could barely even switch a computer on when I was at school. So, you know, and I've been able to build a reasonable sized reputation in the industry, and, you know, make some money online. And, you know, if I can, anyone can. And I think that's the same, regardless of what you do in life, whether it's SEO or whether it's being the best cricket player, for example. You've got to go and do it, work hard for it, train, learn, develop, and do the bloody thing. Don't talk about it, just do it. So take action is the one thing I would say to anyone. Give it a go, and if you fail, so what? Just
Right.
get up and try and do it better.
Right. That was super interesting, and thank you for joining, Craig. And I will put his social media handles and the link to his YouTube channel in the description if you guys want to check it out. And thank you, Craig, for joining me, and it was really nice. Thank you so much.
No problem. Cheers, man.
Thank you.